Here, let's get over to Bushwick. We want to tell you about a story we've been following. A fight that escalated and turned into a murder-suicide, leaving 2 people without their lives. Now let's take a listen here. We are sending things over to News 12's Julia Joseph. She's been reporting on this story. Julia, what can you tell us about this tragedy?
Noelle, right here at my feet is where 41-year-old Gabriel Sanchez shot his girlfriend this morning before turning the gun on himself. We got that confirmed by his family members here at the scene just hours ago, and they're just as confused as everyone else is in this neighborhood. They're overcome with sadness, but really just trying to figure out what sparked this violent eruption out of their son and friend. Ambulances and a crime scene is what neighbors here on Jefferson Avenue woke up to this morning.
I actually overheard someone arguing outside, and then it led into a scream and then a shot fired, which followed by a second shot and then a third shot.
The first shot killing a 32-year-old woman, and the last 2, the bullets Gabriel Sanchez sprung on himself.
After that, it was silent, and then when I looked out the window, I actually saw 2 people down.
Due to the graphic content, News 12 will not be sharing the video, but from what we saw and heard, the woman was running here up Jefferson Avenue, screaming at Sanchez to leave her alone. You'll see the 2 right here before Sanchez pulls out the gun.
My son is not like that. I didn't even know my son had a gun.
Sanchez's mom speaking to us over the phone moments ago.
I just don't understand. I still can't get it through my head, but he did. He had the most beautiful smile in the world, the most beautiful eyes.
A memorial here was placed on this quiet block, neighbors still trying to comprehend what they heard this morning.
These people know everything.
Now, there was a memorial growing for Sanchez, but now it's actually been kicked away by the other family. They've now replaced it with some flowers for the female victim. Just a fully tragic situation for each family here that was involved. Police right now are investigating what happened, and we will continue to bring you the details as we get them. For now, we're in Bushwick.
February 11th, 2025. A quiet Brooklyn street was about to become the backdrop for a chilling tragedy. Gabriel Sanchez, 41, and his 32-year-old girlfriend, Celina Ramos, were about to meet violent ends that morning. At approximately 7:30 a.m., on Jefferson Avenue near Knickerbocker Avenue in Bushwick, a confrontation unfolded. Ring camera footage reveals Gabriel pointing a firearm at Celina, who screamed and attempted to flee. In a harrowing moment, he shot her in the head. As she collapsed, he turned the weapon on himself, firing a fatal shot. Witnesses described the scene as horrifying. One neighbor recalled hearing Celina's desperate screams and the subsequent gunshots. Despite initial survival, both succumbed to their injuries at nearby hospitals. In the early months of 2025, Brooklyn experienced a notable decline in major felonies, including murder, rape, robbery, felony assault, burglary, grand larceny, and grand larceny auto. From January 4th to February 2nd, the combined rate of these crimes decreased by approximately 27% compared to the same period in the previous year. Specifically, the borough saw a 61% reduction in murders, with only 5 reported in the first month of 2025, down from 12 in January 2024. Shootings also decreased by more than 1/3, from 21 to 14 incidents, and the number of shooting victims dropped by about 33%. Gabriel, in this developing story, had a troubled past with 9 prior arrests, including recent charges related to public display of sexual material and harassment. Celina had a prior arrest related to drug possession. What happened in that final moment? And who or what was responsible for the fatal chain of events? Welcome to Mind-Blowing True Crimes. Please subscribe to our channel to help grow this community. Gabriel Sanchez, a man whose life was a tapestry of contradictions. To those who knew him, he was a figure of complexity. Friends and family recall a man who, despite his outward calm, grappled with inner demons. His relationships were marked by volatility, a reflection of the unresolved pain he carried from his past. Celina Ramos, a woman whose spirit seemed unbreakable. She was known for her warmth, her laughter that could light up a room, and her unwavering support for those she loved. Colleagues admired her dedication, while friends cherished her free-spirited nature. Yet, her life would soon be tragically intertwined with Gabriel's, a man who, unbeknownst to her, harbored the capacity for violence. Despite their histories, they found each other. Neighbors described Gabriel as a man with a troubled past, yet no one anticipated the tragic turn his life would take. One witness remarked, "He had his troubles, but I don't know what to say. Nobody thought he could ever do that. I know him a lot longer. They were together, but I don't know her. I don't know how long." Celina cherished her friendships and the late-night conversations that came with them. Gabriel, however, began to express discomfort with her social interactions. He questioned her late arrivals, casting doubt on her commitments. His possessiveness grew, and what was once a gentle inquiry turned into a demand for constant reassurance. During their outings, Gabriel's jealousy became more apparent. He would cast lingering glances at men who spoke to Celina, his eyes narrowing with suspicion. At social gatherings, he would subtly position himself between Celina and others, ensuring her attention remained solely on him. These actions, initially brushed off as protective gestures, began to feel more like control. Their conversations, once filled with shared dreams and aspirations, started to take a darker turn. Gabriel would make offhand remarks about Celina's appearance, suggesting she dressed differently or act in ways that aligned more with his preferences. He would comment on her interactions with colleagues, insinuating that they were more than just professional. Celina's attempts to address these concerns were met with defensiveness. Gabriel would dismiss her feelings, labeling them as overreactions. In private moments, Gabriel's temper would flare. Minor disagreements would escalate into heated arguments, with Celina often retreating to avoid further conflict. Gabriel's apologies, though frequent, lacked sincerity, and the cycle would repeat. The emotional toll began to weigh heavily on Celina, but she found herself trapped in a pattern she couldn't break. February 11th, 2025. A quiet Brooklyn street became the stage for a tragedy that would forever alter the lives of those who knew Gabriel Sanchez and Celina Ramos. At approximately 7:30 a.m., Gabriel stepped out of his residence on Jefferson Avenue near Knickerbocker Avenue in Bushwick. In his hand, he gripped a firearm, a .40 caliber Glock 22 pistol. Celina, who had been staying with him, was on the sidewalk, preparing to leave. Gabriel approaches Celina, his expression unreadable. She notices him and begins to retreat, her face contorted in fear. She screams, "No, Gabriel, please." Her voice trembles, but Gabriel remains silent, his gaze fixed on her. The camera captures the moment she turns to flee, her heels clicking against the pavement. In a swift motion, Gabriel raises the firearm, aiming it at Celina. She stumbles, her hands raised in a futile attempt to shield herself. The camera captures the moment she collapses to the ground, a pool of blood forming around her head. Gabriel stands over her, his face a mask of emotionless resolve. He fires a single shot, the sound echoing through the quiet street. Celina's body jerks, and she lies motionless. Gabriel lowers the weapon, his hand trembling. He gazes at her lifeless form for a moment, then turns the gun on himself. A second shot rings out, and Gabriel's body goes limp. The camera captures the aftermath, a scene of horror and disbelief. Neighbors, who had known Gabriel for years, are left in shock. One witness recalls, "He had his troubles, but I don't know what to say. Nobody thought he could ever do that. I have known him a lot longer. They were together, but I don't know her. I don't know how long. When emergency services arrived at the scene, paramedics rushed to Celina and Gabriel, attempting to resuscitate them. Despite their efforts, both are pronounced dead at nearby hospitals. Family members, still reeling from the loss, spoke of their disbelief and profound sorrow. Authorities are still investigating this brutal murder-suicide. What are your thoughts about how to manage an abusive relationship? What is the deal breaker for you? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I will be ready to hear your opinions. Please remember to subscribe to our growing community and share our videos for more reach. Thanks.